Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning, morning. I'm playing with the puppy. This guy's got the craziest eyes. Look.
Tone, I guarantee at least 1,500 of our regular 3,000 viewers know who that dog is by now.
Yeah,
Look, guys, the price is, you know, disappointing. It's not
I
the
know.
end.
That's why we're playing with puppies in order to stay calm.
Yeah, look, this is not our end of year show. Are you available tomorrow morning to do a show?
Me
Yeah,
or the dog?
yeah, you, Nick.
Um, Tomorrow morning. Yeah, no, tomorrow morning. Yes, morning of the first, maybe depends how the partying goes
Right.
on New Year's. But the two shows after that, oh, actually, maybe because I'm gonna be going diving here in Miami. I'm gonna get another certification. Man, I'm gonna get my wreck diving certification. So that requires like 4 dives inside the wreck and everything.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so maybe not the following 2 days, but we'll see.
Oh, we'll see. Look, I had something prepared today, which I don't normally do, but I wanted, this show, it's a daily show. It's like a newspaper. So we will definitely go through the current price as it is. But I just put this together just a minute ago because I'm really proud of this trade that I'm in right now. And I wanted to walk through the process. So please indulge me. I hope this is not boring, but if you like trading, you might find this interesting. So we're looking at the 1 hour time frame right now. And this is sort of what I was thinking, and I've got the replay function on, by the way. This is not the current price, so don't get excited, right? But I saw this bearish pennant-esque, you know, you know, I don't. It's not really a pennant, but it is enough for me. It's a theme of a bearish pennant, right? And then I hope this works. I hope this works. I just want the next candle to come, and just so you know, like this is a very important time for me is when the 12-hour candle flicks over. So I'm really, really interested in like for me in Japan, and you can do the math from it. 9 a.m. It's absolutely perfect in Japan. 9 a.m. is the start of a new daily candle and a new 12-hour candle at 9 p.m. So these are the really active times for the market for me. So I really look to see what's going to happen. And it often you'll get like a what just happened in this 9 hour this 12-hour open. So like the next candle that came across is bang, all right. It did it really fast. But I thought that we're going to get because we had a really good pump up. We went down to the bottom of this descending triangle pennant thing, and then we closed the candle really strong. And I thought so many people would get excited that this is actually going to be a breakout, that this is a W pattern higher low, but I didn't believe it was, okay? And so I just thought I set when the price was back here, just as the candle opened, a short order, a 10x leverage short order, massive trade at 94,000 to the dollar because I wanted to retouch on that 30 simple moving average on the 12-hour time frame. Also, it really really works where the breakout was the prior breakout was getting lower than putting in a new low hourly close here. It's on another time frame. It looks even better. It's almost to the dollar of where that I think it was a 4 hour time frame. And I thought we're going to come back up, fake all these people out, get a lot of liquidity in the market, and I'm going to short from there. And I did the trade, and then as we can go to real time, it played out really really well and broke that pennant there. So I just wanted to put that together of like what I'm looking for, and I'm going to get rid of these lines now, and I can go into the normal analysis thereafter. But I just thought that was a really clever trade because it looked like we were breaking out. In fact, I thought that we were just going to, just because of the timing, because of that 12-hour candle had just opened and we had a really good close just prior to that. I just really felt like we were going to get a kick up, but then a full-blown rejection. And we totally did. And so sometimes, sometimes you just read the room quite well. And in that case, I did. And I just want to show you it. And on the it marries. Now we're looking at the 4 hour time frame, and I'm going to put the MRI back on. This is why I thought like the MRI. I was ignoring the MRI, which I'm not one to do that. But this candle, when it just opened, was a green star candle tone, and it had closed still below the 7 simple moving average, and it'd come up and retouched on it perfectly, but it had closed below it here, but it had come up and put in a green candle, and it looked like it was, wow, we're going to recover from here, and I just didn't see it. So now we'll give the MRI props because we have come back down to the acceleration line here where we're sitting at. People hate when I say here, but it's where we are right now. And look, this is forming a triple bottom pattern. It looks like the the bottom is going to fall out of this market right now. So I'm very happy to be in this short. I feel like I got in to the short at the best price it's been at all day. It is 10x leverage long, so short, sorry. So I'll sit in this and see how it goes. I'll just set a break even stop and see if I can rocket some profit out of this short trade. But I've been looking at the 4 hour time frame. I mentioned on last Friday's show that this looked like a pennant to me, a bearish pennant. This is the same principle as I was saying on the 1 hour time frame, on the 4 hour time frame. This has all the hallmarks to me of a pennant. And I know that a real technical analyst will say, well, that's higher than that. That's not a pennant. That has to be lower. And we didn't come up and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm more about the mood of this pennant. And I don't like it at all. This is not where you want to be flirting. This is flirting with disaster, just like it was back on the 24th, right? So I'm moving up the time frames now. The daily time frame, I mean, this is poor. I mean, like we've had the bearish cross back, we had a retest back of the breakout point, and it's failing. Like it's the same point, triple bottom, right? And the thing that concerns me most about the price, which I don't want to see happen, is I don't want to see, I'm turning the MRI off for a second, just leaving alpha on. I don't want to see, can you make out, or should I make them bigger? Actually, I will make them bigger. The alphanumerics, have a look at this. So these little stars I have in here is the modified lucid star that I have. The modified lucid SAR, as it stands right now, is at 87,900. Nothing ever good really comes from breaking that. That for me is we're still in a bull market as far as I'm concerned, above 97,900 this week. And that will continually raise because it's a modified lucid SAR as we go on. I'm still happy to call this a bull market for now. But once we start to break 87, I'm not excited about the price, you know. And occasionally it does come down, crack through, and then just recovers from there. But that for me, in my really, really long hodl positions and swing trading positions, is where I clean house. You know, to get long back at 66 and close out at 88, it was a classic trade. If that so be it. But I don't want to see it happen. I want this thing to continue to rocket, but I do see a buy the dip in that zone between the modified lucid SAR and the current mark price, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it beaten down. So that's what the daily looks like right now. I'll go to the weekly because it is the first of the week. Another shitty candle, a false candle. That's not what it looks like, obviously. And I put the MRI back on. I don't like it. I think that we've probably already had it on this candle and it's just the price has risen a little bit. We're almost about to get a red star candle on the weekly on the MRI. I'll leave that there. Tony can talk more about it. But I mean, the EXA, Socrates' EXA, is starting to look really, really important. And that's why I was talking about it for so long. We had all those false crosses, and I said, I really don't want to see the cross, which was inevitable because of how high the price was and how high the EXA was. But remember I said I very rarely see a bearish cross and then a bullish cross within the same vicinity. I was really, really serious that consolidation or further downside is on the cards here. But there is a silver lining because we can meander for a few weeks. Even the price doesn't have to go that far lower. This will continue to drop. And then when it goes, we get a nice bullish cross once again. We're all locked and loaded for the upside. So it's not all doom and gloom. But I don't like how this looks right now, I would not be taking on long positions. Before I come back to you, Tone, there's 2 more days on this fantastic blowfin deposit and cashback that we have. And as I come back, just screenshot this and you're welcome to read it. There's only 2 more days. This is a really, really good incentive they have. I'll come back to you now, Tone. Please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. Links in the description below for the free trading bots on Bangbox and Blackbox. And also just on a personal note, thank you so much for everybody in the Discord community for supporting me. You know what I'm talking about for the Crypto Fight Night series on Twitter yesterday. That meant a lot, guys. Thank you so much. Home, give us some good news, brother. Give us some good news.
We can implement the hope and pray strategy at this point, right? You
Okay.
do have the 10 a.m. reversal coming. So market's going to open in 3 minutes. There is a 90% chance I'm going to go back to fully cash. And there's a high probability I would short. Now, the only reason why I'm not going to short is because New Year's is in 2 days. And one, I want to enjoy partying. And two, I don't like holding positions through New Year's. I like having an all cash position on New Year's, just so I know exactly where my account is. It's just a silly OCD thing. I never like having positions through the new year, whether it's for tax reasons, whether it's for whatever, right? I do the same thing with my credit card spending. Well, like this is it. Like I'm not using my credit cards from now until like after New Year's. Because like again, like for like tax purposes, whatever. I just like to be fully. I don't want transactions to be cross year. It's just an OCD thing for me
I mean,
personally.
I have the same situation. That's why I messaged you earlier today. I start every year again with like a low balance in my trade, just my speculative
Yeah.
leverage trading account. And I normally just clean house and sell a heap of Bitcoin at the end of the year. I did that today at 94,000. So exactly where I put that short on, I sold half my leverage trading position to cash and I'll keep the rest in there for trading. But I cleaned house today as well. I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
so I'm gonna go to the charts, and I still have a partial long position, but I'm gonna cut that short. I'm gonna get rid of that. I mean, ideally, I mean, there again, the only strategy to implement right now for longs is hope and pray that the 10 a.m. reversal will recover, and if we're lucky, we bounce into the death cross because this is about to get ugly. I just don't I have zero confidence that we're about to go to 100K, like almost none. Now, the question is, how long can we delay some kind of a Bitcoin crash? Remember that show that some people thought was excellent and some people thought that Tone ate another salad when I freaking panicked right here when this mess happened at the yeah, this was one bad day. It stopped us at a moving average, no big deal. But then when this red star showed up and now we're doing this reversal candle, this is where everything fell apart because that was the third time we fell into this zone. You can say, well, it didn't really fall into the zone. It didn't break 92,000. You got supported by the 50 period moving average. Yeah, that's all true. But you got dangerously close to the breakdown level and the 50 period, saved us. And then it saved us again and again and again, and then it was over, right? So just like this support line that I have drawn at $91,500, eventually when you hit it too many times, it breaks. No different than this 50 moving average. Supported us 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th time it broke, which is again not the end of the world, but here's where you do have the end of the world. When you have an entire candle, bottom to top, below the moving average. That is when the moving average is lost, okay? Something that TA textbooks will never tell you, but that has been my rule, that closing below a moving average does not break the moving average. Look, it happened right here to the upside on December 10th, where we had a downwards candle breaking the 20 period moving average. It even closed below it, but we did not have an entire candle below the moving average. So the moving average is not yet lost. It's partially lost. Okay, but it's not lost. Like the quote from that movie Princess Bride, your friend is mostly dead, but not dead. Right? Right here, we completely recovered and went higher. That doesn't happen when you have a full candle below the moving average. And here it is. This was on December 20th. We had a full candle below the moving average, and guess what? We never recovered it. We crossed it for 3 seconds out of a day, and that was it. Okay. And now we did it again below the
Can I
50.
jump in? Can I jump
Yeah.
in? And people hate when I do this, but have a look back what Tone said on the previous show. How can you please go back to that big that the first retouch of the, is it the 20 period moving average, the one back further to the left, when
This?
the one that you wanted to ignore, the one that you wanted to ignore.
Oh, this.
All right, have a look at that.
Right.
That's
December 21. Yeah.
the first throwback to the, just
Right.
confirm me, 20, right? So then
Yeah.
we come back down and retest the 50, and then we
Yep.
perfectly almost to the dollar, freakishly came back and
Yep.
retested the 20 once again.
Yep.
Then we came back down and broke the 50, right?
Right.
That, if I could write a textbook, that would be it. And then the following candle, the one that had the full candle body open to close, never got back above that moving 50 period moving average. It actually came back and retested to the downside, the breakout point as well. That for me is is as textbook as you'll get. Even though
Right.
I don't know if it's technically a textbook thing, but that looks as obvious as
Right.
hell to
And then
me.
the following candle gives you a red star on the
Yeah,
daily.
right.
We are about to get a red star on the weekly, but the week just started. So it doesn't mean the red star is going to stay, but we are imminently about to get a red star candle. There's a little bug in red star candles that I know I have the updated code I need to release. So this we I mean, like, I know what the code should do, and the red star should not be there yet, but it should be there imminently. The moment the price of Bitcoin drops below yesterday's candle's low, the red star needs to show up. I hope it shows up. But
Well,
like I said, there is this weird bug in the red stars sometimes. But if
it's
you
probably,
understand what causes the red stars,
sorry,
then
Tone.
that,
Tone, it's
it's not as
probably,
necessary. Yeah.
so I hate to cut you off again. It's probably just only on the index chart, because see how it's like the candle is the glitched already. If you went to like Coinbase or Binance or something, or BitGet or whatever, it probably wouldn't show it, to be honest.
Maybe. I mean, we can look at well, what are the, so BTC USD. Let's look at it on Coinbase.
Yeah.
No, no red star yet.
It shouldn't have,
BTC
it shouldn't have it yet.
USD.
It shouldn't have it
Let's
yet.
do Kraken or something. Do we have
But
Kraken?
it shouldn't have it yet, Tone, either.
Um,
It needs
so
like
this
an
one is
extra
closed.
dollar drop, right?
We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost at a red star. But just because a red star showed up doesn't mean it's going to stay there, right? So
No.
either this needs to be like the end of the week at this price, or we need to go, sufficiently lower to like make it official. So either way, it looks bad. Like, for example, this should already have a red star candle, and I'm not sure why it doesn't, but maybe it's because I don't have them turned on, because I don't see any stars on this chart. So I probably don't even have them turned on. This is a 4-day chart. If I turn on the red stars, it should show up. Yeah, I don't have them turned on. Trend change, close condition, trend. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. So we're trading lower than the prior candles low. Okay. So I didn't have them turned. Okay. So yeah, this looks bad. We are coming up on 10 a.m. in a few minutes, and there's a chance we can reverse, but that reversal is going to be short-lived.
Well,
This right here
go back
was
to the
a
weekly.
reason
Go to the
mistake.
weekly now.
It's done.
Go to the weekly now.
There it is. There's the red star. Perfect. It works. It worked. I know there was a bug. I just can't pinpoint the bug. This is not it. So yeah, so the red star is working exactly as it should. We broke yesterday's candle's low. And the thing is, the stock market looks ugly too. Very ugly. So the stock market is about to do the same thing. See, look, there's the support. You hit it once, you hit it twice, and now you're in trouble here. So the stock market is about to break its support. And if we break 5,870 one more time, where do we think we're going, Matt?
Oh, to the 50 period moving average.
Right. Exactly. Actually, I think that's the 200. Yeah, it's the 200.
Either way.
Uh, yep. That's where we're going. Now, the good news is if I extend this, not that I want the consolidated range, but this bottom line is the prior double top, which we never back tested. We bounced off of the MRI support line instead. But when this 200-day moving average meets this line, that's probably a good support area.
It actually looks really good, to be honest. To
Yeah.
come back right to there, it looks actually because that's where that 200 will be by the time we get there. It looks magic.
Now, gold also looks ugly, right? Everything, all the risky assets are correlated. So the S&P looks bearish. Gold is bearish. Everything is bearish, but I'm liking this oil trade. I continue to be very puzzled why oil has been so depressed in price. And the Biden administration actually continued to buy oil into the strategic reserve the entire year. I'm impressed. I did not see that coming. So you can see how the Biden administration sold 44,000 barrels in year one, 221,000 barrels, million barrels, sorry, in year two, 18 million barrels in year three. But in this fourth year, they purchased almost 40,000 barrels. And they still have one more week, so they'll probably be close to 40,000 barrels. They've been buying substantially, right? They were buying over 1 million barrels, in late November, and the last purchase was only 260, but the prior one was 500. So they've been buying oil the whole time. It has not increased the price of oil, but the Russia-Ukraine thing is about to escalate based on everything I've been seeing, because both countries are insane, and by both countries I mean Russia and U.S. But yeah, I'm liking this Green Star oil candle because we haven't had one of these in a while. We had a Green Stars back here, which did lead to some more upside, but you see how the Green Star showed up like after the big move up. And then we had another Green Star back in June, but it was already happening way late in the count. But now we're sitting here at 71,000 getting a Green Star candle. I think oil can definitely rally into the 80s here. And so let's see what happens. I like this. I like oil. Like if we're talking about major assets, oil is very bullish to me here. While gold, S&P, Bitcoin, everything is bearish. Everything there is bearish. On the short term, I mean, the daily chart right now is the primary chart here. And I mean, if it goes straight down, which I don't really want to see, there'll be a buying opportunity somewhere around an MRI buy, but that could be, at 90 or that could be at 80. Like, we don't know how fast we're going to go down. Also, we have been going down for quite a while now. So we're already down 15% from the top and quickly down 7% from the swing back.
So
So
can you do a measure move from the all-time high to the current modified lucid SAR, which is at about 88? I can see it on
yeah,
your
it's only
chart.
20%,
Yeah, yeah,
18 and 19%.
yep.
And but I can definitely envision a pullback here. Now, if we pull back into the death cross, that is very dangerous. It's
Yeah.
not the ultimate death cross. A real death cross is 50 over 200. This is only going to be 20 over 50, but it's still bad. We haven't had a 20 over 50 cross. When was the last time? So here it is the last time, but this wasn't a downtrend. You see all the moving averages are declining. That's not a good comparison. What you want to do is you want to compare when did we cross, when did this happen, when it was in a similar position, and this is it. Here it is on April 2024. So on a daily chart, here is the crossover. You see us rallying into the crossover. We hit it maybe 4 days later, and you see how we got rejected. And in fact, we did get rejected by the 50, but we never officially broke the 20. Remember, we needed a full candle above the 20, which we never got. So we never broke the 20, we never broke the 50. This here is no different than pulling right literally into the crossover. And back on my workshops, in my educational videos, I talk about a pullback into the cross all the time, how that is your last gasp for air before you drown, basically. You're using horrible analogies here. And now the time to buy is, of course, the MRI buy opportunity, what happened here. So right now we are, it's kind of like we're dealing with this red candle here, like April 15th, or potentially the April 17th candle. We're in this zone here where we are breaking down. Once again, you can draw this line right here, and eventually it lost. And where did we recover? Well, we recovered at the 128-day moving average with a green star reversal candle, the perfect buy. Now, did this perfect buy lead to all-time highs? Not really, but it led into a good proper bounce. Definitely money can be made until eventually, it broke down again and ultimately made a lower low, multiple lower lows. But at the time, you don't know what's going to happen. So here we are again. I think it's a perfect repeat of that. Hopefully it doesn't take us, hopefully something like this will take us all the way to new highs, and not get stuck for an additional, how many days?
6 months.
Right here,
Fucking horrible. That was the worst. The worst.
yeah, it was bad. I mean, that was an additional 160 days, right? So hopefully when this happens, something like this here, we actually break out and not, make new lows then after. So I actually thought we were gonna consolidate here and break out, or at least we would get supported by the 128 again, and then go back up and then break out. But it took longer than expected.
You know what's so
But
funny?
I don't see how it's any different this time.
What's so funny, Tone, you and I have been doing this show nearly 5 days a week. We've missed a few, but nearly 5 days a week since January. And we would have been doing shows daily through that period. I would have been back
Oh,
in
of
Australia.
course.
And I have no idea what I said that time, but it would have been, I can just imagine it's like, oh, we're so bullish, it's gonna be a breakout. Oh shit, it's all
Right.
going down, we're going lower, and oh shit, like, I can imagine the week by week it would have been just dreadful. In a retro, we can go back and
Right.
retro.
Now I'm pretty sure I would have been super cautious right up here with an MRI top.
I would have been
But I
hot.
would have been very bullish right here with the green star candle.
Right.
Right. And then I don't get bearish again until the red star candle.
Who the hell knows what I said back then? But
And then I'm getting bullish again on the MRI buy. And then I'm getting bearish again on the red star.
yeah,
And I'm getting very bearish on the break of the 128. And then the next time I'm bullish is on an MRI buy with your green diamond. So we're probably
right.
both bullish right here.
Probably.
Right. So that's kind of how it goes. And then the next time I'm bullish is on this. Oh, this green star, this double green star candle. I'm probably very bullish.
Yeah.
And we broke the lucid saw right here,
Yeah, we did, yeah.
or probably here, one of these.
That was the
Yeah, so
worst period.
this probably would have been the toughest one right here.
It was, it was,
This probably would have been the hardest one to admit that we're wrong right here.
it was, mate, because that was when the Lucasar flipped green. So it's all systems go, and then it immediately went down and hit red. It wasn't until the next time then that's the worst example of the modified list I've ever seen, to be fair, because it's a short period of time. You don't usually get that, right? It normally stays bearish for months, bullish for months. That's a very rare case, in fact. Because see that's what we want. That's what we want to now.
Yeah, so it's okay. So I got to glance just a couple of stocks
Oh
real
yeah, up
quick.
right here, Tone. You said MSTR.
Yeah, so since I kind of have something else up, this is natural gas. I'm very bullish on natural gas, but it's a MRI top, which is concerning. But again, I'm bullish on natural gas for political reasons, I guess. This is gets Europe into trouble here. So the last time natural gas was this expensive was right after the Russia-Ukraine war started in 2022. But back in 2022, Europe had massive deposits, the storage of natural gas that they were buying from Russia. So Europe was okay in this winter. The following winter, uh, somehow natural gas was super cheap. I'm not really sure how, but it was cheaper. But this time around, it's winter and natural gas is back about $4. And if it rises to five, it gets Europe into a lot of trouble because they don't have the kind of reserves they did back then. So I think this is going to be trouble for Europe, especially now that they're talking about cutting off the gas supplies that go into Eastern Europe through Ukraine. So I would keep an eye on natural gas. This to me just smells like a 1 to 4 candle correction or consolidation and a breakout. And if we can bust over the MRI resistance line, man, the world could be in a bit of trouble because the natural gas has generally been on a decline for a while. This is mostly because better technology is getting natural gas. But if the supply chain of natural gas is disrupted, which it's bound to be because of Syria, because of Ukraine, it's not getting any better, guys. And I can see natural gas spiking, which could cause havoc throughout many industries and countries. The other thing people wanted me to look at was currency. Well, no, it's okay. We'll skip the. You know what? Let me look at DXY. So the dollar is rising, which again I expected. I recently heard something in an interview about why the euro has been so strong against the dollar. Remember, Matt, like for years now, I've been expecting the euro to go sub parity to the dollar, like 85 US cents to 1 euro is my target.
Right.
So I have been completely dumbfounded by why the euro is so strong. And it always takes like this little thing to spark something in your brain. You go, oh shit, so that's the reason. So German Constitution after World War II, because remember, one of the causes of World War II was the reparations of World War I that Germany couldn't meet, so they printed like crazy. So after World War II, they said, okay, well, that can't happen again. So Germany, apparently, I need to look into the details, so don't quote me on this, guys.
Well, you're right
But
so far.
Germany had some very strict laws about not going into debt, like the other European countries. So the only thing that has been keeping the euro afloat was the fact that Germany has to be more responsible with the printing of euros than the rest of the countries. And Germany has been, the most industrial country in Europe, supporting all of Europe, but they were benefiting from, from the euro because if they had their own currency would be super strong against the dollar. So technically speaking, for Germany, the euro was a weak currency. For every other country in Europe, the euro is a strong currency, right? This dynamic. But Germany is now in trouble because its industry is collapsing. Its energy, cheap energy is collapsing. So everything is collapsing in Germany. They're not, they keep putting in, the same type of leaders all the time. So they're going to escalate the Russia-Ukraine situation. And Germany is now actively debating removing this constitutional restraint on how much money they print. And the moment Germany does that, that's when the euro collapses. So
Yeah.
Germany's restraint, Germany's constitutional restraint to be responsible with money printing has been the catalyst to keep the euro strong. But remember what I've always said about currencies, it's confidence. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your country does. It's what others think about your country. And it's the perception is 100 times more important than reality. The moment Germany hits the money printing press, it's over for the euro because the euro is Germany. Like the other countries are dragging it down, but Germany's been propping it up. But if Germany stops propping it up, the euro just implodes. So I can't wait for that day. And because Germany is just doing dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision, starting with, putting all the people that wants to get rid of their nuclear power plants in charge of the German, the Greens, as they call them, have a huge say in parliament. So Germany is going to be the final straw that implodes the euro. And you can look at the chart of the euro, and it looks as uglier than the Bitcoin chart. Look at this. The
It does,
MRI
man.
buy comes in, gives you the 1 to 4 candle correction to the upside. We're now back to the support level. We're lower than the prior swing low. We're on another green star candle on the red star candle on the weekly, and the euro is about to fall apart. This is, I know I've been wrong on the euro many, many times, and I don't want to sound like Peter Schiff, eventually things are gonna, gold's gonna go up. But the fact that in this case, right, the euro is finally going to implode.
Mate,
I really think this is finally it. This
mate,
was
just indulge me. Bring up the yen for a second. I want to see the yen. Come on.
Yeah, so the Japanese carry trades back. The yen continues to devalue. What a beautiful MRI buy right here. I was all over this, by the way. I was the one that said people are panicking too much. The more you ignore Japan, the better your investing life's going to be. That's been my rule for the last 15 years. After being an idiot, my first 5 years of investing and trading,
Well,
caring what the Japanese
look,
do.
look where
Um,
I bought my house. It's at the top of your bar there in July. There, that's where I bought my
right
house.
there.
Yeah.
Well, the Japanese yen was weak. So is that the best time to buy
It
the
was
house?
it was the best time ever
Oh,
to
because
have.
the house is priced in Japanese yen.
Uh,
So you bought the house in July at the lowest possible price because the
yeah,
yen was weak.
right. Your boy Matt.
And yeah, we're about to break the MRI resistance line. We just hit a green star candle. The yen is going to devalue. And there's nothing that the Japanese can do to make it strong. They tried to strengthen the yen, and they have clearly failed. And you get these, this MRI buy reversed the yen to be weakened. It reached its peak on an MRI top. It reversed for 1 to 4 candles, and we've now started the extension phase and the new MRI top incoming. So this arrow here was not wrong. It was just delayed by a year, half a year. Like once we hit this double top in the yen at 150, remember, look, it popped both times on a weekly MRI top, weekly MRI top. I thought this would be a 1 to 4 candle correction and then straight up. That's kind of what happened. And then the Japanese decided to raise interest rates. They increased the strength of the yen. And eventually the free market said nope. And down we go for the Japanese yen valuation. This is any MRIs here? Not really. We're about to get a green star candle on the monthly. The last time we had one, I mean, that's when the Japanese started to take action.
Freak
And
out.
this time around, I don't think they'll do anything. They'll just let it go to 200.
Nothing to do. Good time to move to Japan, guys. If this thing breaks and gets to an all new, goes to like $1.80 or something like that, come move to Japan. Let's do it.
Let's look at MicroStrategy real quick. Weekly chart looks bad. red star candle as well. See, this is where I don't know why the red star candle is not here. So that's what I mean. It's a weird bug, right? Like it works on the other chart, but it doesn't seem to be working on this chart. I gotta fix it. Like this should be a red star candle. It's no different than this.
It's
Maybe
just
it's the
it's
gap.
the gap. The
Maybe the
gap.
gap's messing
Yeah.
something up. I don't know. But that's a red star weekly candle. I mean, it used to work. I don't know, maybe trading view updates stuff on the back end, and then we have to, update the code. You know how it is, Matt.
They do it. They do it all the time, mate. It's really tricky. It's a moving target.
Like your code works fine, and then suddenly your code doesn't work because they switched something on the back end in trading view.
Yep.
So yeah, it's no different than Bitcoin and MSTR. And since I'm still have remnants of an AMD trade, I need to look at that stuff.
Bad.
And we're hanging in there today. No, that's a week. Oh yeah, but that's still today's camp. Yeah, I may be cutting this trade as well before the end of the year. I just like having a clean slate going into next year. One more stock I just want to pull up. GoPro. So
I
I'm
think
not saying GoPro is gonna make you a billionaire and it's gonna go to $100 a share, but GoPro has been declining for a while, and it's one of these companies that has intellectual property.
I think
And
they'll
when a
go
stock
bankrupt.
gets
I think they'll go bankrupt, dude. I think they're
um
gone.
they may go bankrupt, but the point is they have intellectual property. And
Hmm.
someone is going to buy this company for the intellectual property.
Hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure some companies are paying GoPro royalties.
Hmm.
And one of those companies may not want to do that anymore. So GoPro is one of those companies that has
Buyout.
potential for a buyout.
Yeah.
And if someone's gonna buy GoPro, they'll probably buy it between like 150 and like $2-3 a share.
Hmm.
So this is I've seen this time and time again. So just be aware that a snapback in GoPro is very possible. I'm not saying I'm gonna take the trade. I'm just letting people aware. And look at the swings on Roku, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, guys, this show has lasted long enough. Here
Just
comes the
finish
10
your
a.m.
finish
reversal.
your. Oh yeah, yeah. Bitcoin, really quickly. Bitcoin, short term, bang.
The 10 a.m. reversal should bounce us a smidge, and that's it. That's all she wrote. I'm super bearish here. I just don't see how we break 95 in the near future. It's possible. Look, anything's possible. In my last show, I said, hey, there's enough whales that want to see Bitcoin at 100K on New Year's. Obviously, that was wrong. Look at this trend line that we've been maintaining that we eventually lost. I was following this trend line, and this trend line got lost probably over the weekend. Yeah, it got lost on Sunday, and that's it. Like right here, this is your disaster zone right here. The break of the MRI support line on the 1 hour, the break of the trend line. The moment Bitcoin broke 94,000 on Sunday, I mean, I was flying all day yesterday. I had 4 flights yesterday. We're not going to discuss why. I had to take 4 flights. I needed the stuff. I needed to bump my status to its maximum before the year ends. So yesterday, my first flight was at 7 a.m. and I landed where I needed to go by 8 p.m. And I wasn't going very far. But I had to take 4 flights to get there. So I was in the air all day. I was watching like health videos and stuff. And yeah, this is bad. I mean, you got again 10 a.m. right now. So you got a chance. You got a chance to get out, but that's about it.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Midnight. It's
wrap it
midnight.
up.
Midnight here in Japan. Well, all right, look, don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. It's Bitcoin. This is part of it. Volatility is really fun. You know, we're traders here. Everyone watching is a trader. Enjoy the volatility, and we'll see you for the final show of the year tomorrow night. Go
Yep.
Bitcoin.
Later. Oh, and one last thing, right? I always said Bitcoin trends down on the weekends. There was one weekend in the last, I don't know how many weekends, probably if you go back the last 8 weekends, there was one weekend where Bitcoin just smashed to the upside. And there's major recency bias because of that one weekend. Everyone thinks that Bitcoin does well on the weekends. If you look
Didn't
at every
didn't do
weekend,
shit this
other than
weekend.
that one weekend where it went up like $10,000, that one anomaly, Bitcoin either does nothing or goes down every single weekend. And you know what? If you set up your trades accordingly and that one weekend doesn't make you wrecked, I think there's a trading strategy there. Because once again, like remember how I've always been saying Bitcoin is going to trade down to sideways on every weekend? It always does, except that one time when we broke, from like 80 to 95 or something. Other than that, this is what it always does on the weekends.
Except I agree with you completely, but you have to be on Asian time, okay? Because 9 a.m. my time Monday morning, a lot happens. It tends to happen, to be honest. And like you wake up 12 hours later and you're like, oh wow, the price pumped. The price didn't do shit through my weekend, but that last 12 hours when you were still asleep is when all the action happened. So I think Asian time is the time frame. I'm going to bed, man. It's like midnight. See you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
later. People are asking at what price do I start to call a bear market? Let's deal with that question probably next stream or early in the year. I'm still bullish here. I think that even if we hit 70K, I'm still bullish. We're still in a bull market from a cycle perspective. So I'm not envisioning a bear market in 2025.
Just keep grinding and accumulating, stacking sats at the right time. Let's go.
Later, guys.
See you tomorrow.